be reading my story, Outback. Hi, I'm Thomas Edmonton, and I live in Southampton, England. You might ask if I like it where I live, but I always say I can live anywhere I want. Why do I say that? Well, here's my story that should answer all of your questions. It all began one Saturday afternoon when I found a strange box behind a shrub that appeared to have hieroglyphics on it. I studied the box, which looked like it hadn't been opened in thousands of years. Before I opened it, resisting my suspicious nerves, I decided to get my twin sister, Emily. She said that we should tell our mom, Anna, but I thought otherwise. I decided that after we have opened it, then we'd report our findings to her. The box was very rusty, and to open it, we both had to push. Finally, it opened. Inside, there was a weird contraption that looked like the inside of a clock. We took that out of the box and then found an ancient scroll. As I read it, I realized why it looked as though it had just been placed there. Here's what it read. Please help the Greek Empire from being defeated by the Persian army. Bring anything that might help us. Thank you for helping us. Set the dials to previous time and place. We are heavily outnumbered, so please come quickly, even though it won't make a difference. Emily said that we shouldn't go. She said in history class she'd learned that they'd survived and beat Persia, but they would barely lose this battle. I said we should still help anyways, so we went to the shed and got any harmful thing we could. Then we set the time and place. We found on the back of the letter where the start button was, so we were off.
Beep, beep, beep.
Part 2. The scene was amazing. There seemed to be more men than grains of sand on a beach. We were behind a rock. There was an old man with a beard that was white. We also saw maybe 200 Greek-looking soldiers. We started firing a gun that we found in the shed towards the Persian army. We killed about 30 and then decided to head back. But first we had a conversation. We learned that the man was Kostas. He told us that he was an inventor. One day he made a calculation on how to make a machine that could travel through time and to places around the earth. He learned of the Greeks, the Romans, and even America's downfall. But he could not tell us anything in our future because people who know something that will happen in their lifetime will go mad. Now we understood that this was important. Part 3. After the conversation, we told him we would be back in the blink of an eye. When we got back, we just sat and thought of the places we could go. If you wanted to find out more about places, just dial the machine up. Wow, that would be good. But we needed to focus on the task at hand. Then it struck me that we needed to go to the Persians and negotiate a deal. For once, my sister agreed and we were off. Part 4. Kostas thought it was too risky, but I had a plan. We would steal the armor off a Persian soldier, then go to the king and tell him the hardships of war to try to get him to think that the attack was pointless. If he tried to kill us, we could just go to a different time and place and be safe. Finally, Kostas agreed, so we went to get armor. Part 5. Thankfully, there was a man that we could get to easily. Emily was in the Persian pants and shoes, and I was the body. We walked in the palace with 100 pillars and the strongest white granite on earth. Each pillar was bigger than 100 men combined. The king was dressed in what seemed like 1,000 jewels, and even his shoes were rich with diamonds. We told how each Greek was stronger than a full-grown mountain lion, and how each knight was colder than death's kiss. And how the Greek's sword was sharper than Ares' spear. Then the king said that we were too weak for his army and something about executing us, but we bailed and left to see Kostas. We told him that we've decided to think a while. We now debated a lot. I say we should go, but she says to leave the topic alone. However, this morning I found a note that said that the Greeks had been defeated and forced into hiding. It was signed by Kostas, and the last sentence said to change the past.